Well, this is East Creek, and it's at the mouth of the water that leads into the Pacific Ocean, just north of the Brooks Peninsula. And where I'm standing right now, I've kayaked here, and I've taken shelter in a giant cedar tree that was living right here. And that tree was carved out hundreds of years ago by First Nations who used it to shelter from storms when they were going between the harvest areas of the estuary and the clam beds back to their main village, which is several kilometers away. And so that tree is now gone. This is the East Creek cedar. It's 54 feet in circumference. I first entered the East Creek Valley in a kayak by paddling along the Pacific coast just north of the Brooks Peninsula, entering the river estuary through Clashkeesh Inlet. It was October of 2004, and no logging had entered the pristine rainforest of the East Creek Valley. With permission of the Quatsino First Nation, I witnessed an ancient village site and encountered a number of culturally modified trees. The forest was lush, and there was an abundance of giant trees. The floodplains of the estuary boasted many harvestable plant species that had been used as a source of valuable foods and medicine by traditional people who inhabited the area since the last ice age. Kayaking back to my launch point, I could see the road that was being built along the Clashkeesh Valley, with a series of switchbacks designed to crest the steep ridge that had protected East Creek from logging up until that time. Lemaire Lake logging blasted a road into East Creek and logged the upper valley. I spent the next 6 years making the film Rainforest, The Limit of Splendor, bearing witness to the destruction of this publicly owned land, which remains the unceded territory of the Quatsino people. There was a magic line between the upper and lower East Creek Valley, created by the BC Ministry of Forests as part of some licensing agreement, which somehow slowed down logging of the lower East Creek Valley. However, the upper valley was systematically devastated, with full approval from the BC Ministry of Forests under the authority of the Results-Based Code, which had recently been introduced by the BC Liberals, and which remains in effect today. As you can see, these are giant ancient cedar trees, and the whole valley is being gutted, and it's going to be gone. But they're dumping them into the ocean right here, and taking them away in barges, and the destination is unknown. Lemaire Lake logging has already punched many holes in the lower valley along East Creek, but it has been confined to the north shore until recently, when this logging company built a bridge over the main channel of East Creek to access the south shore. This new bridge will allow roads to be built and logging to destroy what currently remains of the last pristine low valley bottom adjacent to the Brooks Peninsula Provincial Park. This unique wilderness is the only place on Vancouver Island that was not engulfed by the last ice age. The rocks and mountains of the park are protected by law, so why not the ancient rainforest at the base of them?
So I'm here with my companions in East Creek, near Brooks Peninsula, just north of Brooks Peninsula. and we're standing about a kilometer up from East Creek itself, the river bottom, and we're in the middle of a massive cut block, and all around us you can hear sounds of chainsaws and machinery dragging old-growth forest out of the woods up to the road, and it's just incredible to be here, bearing witness to what is the sounds of the last old-growth rainforest on Vancouver Island being logged and being just totally decimated. And it's done so far away out of people's eyes that the public doesn't see this. And I think if the public did see what was actually happening to the last remaining old growth, that they'd be very, very, very mad. You can watch the trees fall, and you hear that sort of they crack the ground. They kind of sound like a little lightning strike when they hit the ground.
A few steps out of the clear cut, and the ancient forest engulfs us with its magic. Lemaire Lake Logging, with a licensing mandate from the BC Ministry of Forests, as governed by Premier Christy Clark and the BC Liberal Party, is logging as fast as possible to pillage the ancient forest of East Creek before the public gets wise. Time is running out, but the public can change the outcome of the final tracts of land that remain pristine in East Creek.